the last 3 practices, Jalen Harvey has practiced harder than he had the first 12 or first 11, and credit to him. We had a scrimmage one night, and he didn't play very well, and I think I was as hard on him as I've been on a player in a long time. And I told him, I mean, it's one of those deals as a coach. When the coach is getting after you, there's a reason. He thinks you have an opportunity to help the team. It's when the coach stops talking to you that you should worry, because then he doesn't care. And then he doesn't see you as value to help being a winning team. And so I think he was in the impression early on that, why is this guy picking on me? What's the deal? So I told him, I said, I'm not gonna be easy on you just because you get upset. And over the last 3 practices, I think he's made some great progress. The good thing with Jalen is he's veteran enough and he's played well enough on the offensive side of the ball that if he's not starting come fall, he could go start with the offense and he wouldn't miss a beat. He's played in big games. He's made big catches, so that's not new to him. So I think we've got an experiment that we're gonna keep going with a little bit. Right now, Jalen has worked himself into the rotation on defense. He could work himself in the rotation on offense just as easily. But I think it's been a good thing. I think his physical demeanor, I mean, it's funny, we want physical kids. You wouldn't think you'd go ask a wideout to come be that guy on defense. So either it says something about us on defense going into it, or it says a lot about the kid. I'm not sure which yet, but we're making progress and he's done good.
He, last season, he was so critical on 3rd downs especially. He made big key adjustments, and how does that transition, benefit him, being able to see things from a receiver perspective and now playing on the other side of the ball?
I think it's benefited him a little bit this year because he knows some of the calls. And so he was able to, at spring ball, even know where the ball's going to go because he knew the plays. But that won't help him next year. But what will help him, he's a football player. He understands down and distance. You said, you made a great point. He was a big 3rd down receiver last year. Well, it's not that he wasn't 1st and 2nd, but a quarterback gets comfortable throwing to a guy that he knows is going to make a competitive catch. Jalen knows the situation. He understands that every play you need to know what the down distance is because it's going to tell you what plays they're going to run on offense. That has been huge for him and helped him, and it helped him in his development on defense. So, I mean, that's just being a smart football player.
Coach, quick adjustment. So you haven't necessarily even called the play yet, but there's going to be fans coming in and calling plays tomorrow night at the spring game. What are your thoughts on that? Just kind of getting the whole ASU community involved.
I think it's great. I think the more people that we can get to buy in and believe in what we're doing, the better. And I think giving some of those people an opportunity to understand how fast things actually happen and how it goes is good for them. Now that'll be really fun. They're going to get to look at pictures and point to something and call it, and the coaches will signal it in. We'll do some fun things on defense tomorrow. I think tomorrow is it's not a play around deal, but there's some of that stuff that's going to be meant to be fun, but it'll also be a good teaching moment to see how our guys handle it. I mean, because if you make it too loosey-goosey, all of a sudden things get out of whack and now the kids aren't concentrating and then you've wasted your time. I think Coach Edwards has done a great job of explaining what our expectation is for tomorrow night, how to handle it, and then you throw that in the mix and it's good. It creates a little bit of organized chaos for the kids to handle. So it'll be fun.
You mentioned Nick Ralston's football IQ. Do you think that playing running back helps him understand like how blocking is setting up, or is it just like more of an innate thing that he has?
I think a little both. I think there's people out there that are natural football players. They can see things and have a feel for the game that other kids don't. I think if you ask Nick, when he grew up, Nick Ralston was outside playing tag with his friends. Nick Ralston was outside running around having a good time. He wasn't a video game kid. I think that is a huge development in kids these days. I think if you play nothing but sports video games, you become a robot. You don't see things the same. You don't see pulling guards. You don't see guys in front of you that are how the play is happening and developing. Nick has a natural fit to, he sees guard pull across his face. He knows where the ball's going, so he gets a one-step lead on the guy that's coming to block him. That makes a huge difference. Is it because he was a running back? I think that helps because he knows how those plays are designed and how they're blocked and schemed and where the hole's going to be. I don't think that goes through his mind when he's playing. I think it's a natural deal. And I think through evaluating and recruiting, I think it's very important to watch what kind of players those kids are and find out, be diligent in your research on them. Find out from their background. Are they good kids at school? Are they constantly sitting in the lunchroom? Are they outside doing something? I mean, and the best, in the 20 years that I've done this, you can find out more information from a janitor on campus than you can teachers and guidance counselors, because the janitors are there all the time. They watch the kids at lunch. They watch the kids. And they know who the kids are. And if those kids don't treat your janitor good, I won't recruit. I'm a firm believer in that. And that they won't lie to you either. If the kid's a jerk, they'll tell you the kid's a jerk. And they have a different view, but they know those kids. The kids that treat them good, they know those kids that like them. So that got way off tangent on that. But I think that Nick is just a good football player. And I think that helps.
You're giving away one of your trade secrets.
Hey, it's okay.
Janitors.
The more people we can help recruit, that's good. Go to the janitors, find out. They know a lot.
Do you actually seek them out?
I do. So on campus, like when we go out in the spring here in April, we're not allowed to talk to the kids. We can go on campus, we can meet with the coaches, we can go to their athletic events and watch those. But if you do a really good job of trying to find, because if you have a good character football team, usually you have a chance to be pretty good. And when I say good characters, you don't want a bunch of nice guys that are, you can't have, it's a mean, nasty game. They can't all be nice, but they can be guys that have personality. They can be guys that are respectful. They can be guys that understand. That whole discipline plays into it. And janitors, they know, because those kids, they clean up after them. They know the kids that clean up after themselves. They know the kids that are loud in the lunch field, that play around. They know the kids that are jerks. They know the kids that are nice, and they won't lie, because they have nothing to gain or lose. And they don't really, most of them don't have anything invested in those kids. So, the ones that are respectful, they'll tell you, or they'll say, I've had them tell you, that guy's a jerk. He's a complete jerk. And so, you can learn from all those things, and it's been pretty successful. I don't think I've never recruited a kid, and it happened one time, never recruited a kid that a janitor said he was a jerk. I tried to convince myself that the kid was okay, and as the recruiting process goes, true personalities play out. And from that point on, I thought, you know what, those guys know. They have a good idea.
Coach, what are your thoughts against playing against Derek Hagan tomorrow night?
You know what? I wish he was playing for the Sun Devils still. That sucker, he still looks like he can play. It's been fun having him around. I'll tell you that. It'll be good.
How rare is it to find some kids these days that don't play video games, that aren't into video games?
You know what? It's not as rare as you think. Because of, now I don't know that I'm a fan of this either. With all this 7-on-7 that's becoming so popular with high school football, it takes kids away from running track. It takes kids away from playing basketball, because coaches are funny. They become very possessive of their athletes. I try and convince kids to play as many sports as you can in high school. Play basketball, play soccer in California when it's in a different season, run track, play baseball. Because I think in my honest opinion, you become a better football player if you're doing other things. A baseball player that plays shortstop, his hand-eye coordination, their reaction for a ball, that helps you with football. A guy that runs tracks, it helps you run faster. A guy that plays basketball, you learn how the ball bounces, you learn angles, you learn how to box somebody out. So if you're going up for a jump ball, you learn how to use your body in position. You get a guy that does nothing but football, that he sits out there and he goes with these gurus and they backpedal all day and they do these fancy drills, they're robotic and they don't play football, because 7-on-7 is not real football. It's fun and you can evaluate kids from it, but when you put pads on, it's a completely different game. And so if you can expose yourself to different things, and you can tell a kid that's played outside his whole life and a kid that has been on a computer and played video games, they see things faster, they move better, they react better, and usually they're more fun to be around. The millennial age, here I'm getting old. We had video games when I was little. I got bored with them because probably they weren't as fancy as they are now. So now it's like playing with real people, but it's not as uncommon as you think. But I ask what they did growing up when we're recruiting them. I want to know, because they're better. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's done a study on it. Maybe I should look into it. But they're better, probably better people too. Talk to people, not be socially awkward and stuff.
So we look at the totality of spring practice, from practice 1 until today. What are some of the areas you could really see real progress?
Progress. They play a little bit harder than they did on day 1, but not hard enough. They know our expectation They are like your own kids. They try and push the limit to see what they can get away with. And I kind of explained to them today. They came out, we had a little success on Friday night. We come out on yesterday and they want to be easy and take it easy. We tell them we're going to practice for an hour and a half today. It's not even going to be that long. They come out, they want to jog around because it's going to be easy. So we had a little chat this morning before, so we were at Pursuit for 30 minutes. We were at a little chat this morning before Pursuit. Look, in life, there's nothing good that comes easy. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if it's school, you have to work to get good grades. If it's football, if you want to be good, you have to work at it. Nobody's going to just show up and let you be good because you showed up because you think you're somebody special. With girls, if you got a girlfriend, you better work at keeping her happy because if you don't, somebody else is. Probably should have told them and everything you do. And so they chuckled at that and had a little bit of fun, but they came out and all of a sudden we run Pursuit and they go full speed and everybody's doing it because they're excited. Well, the unfortunate thing of that is you can only give so many rah-rah speeches and then all of a sudden they stop listening because it's old hat. It has to become, hey guys, this is just what we do and this is how we do it. So we still need to keep making progress towards that. So it's not coming from the coaches, it's coming from just habitual, being happy. Football-wise, playing the actual game, I think we've gotten better fundamentally. It's not even close. I mean, you can put on our film from day one and look at the way we're standing around in day 14, and those guys actually look like real football players. I mean, they move around. Assignments have gotten better. I think we're still a little bit far from being perfect assignment-wise, or as close as we want to be. We've got a lot of work there. Now, we've done some stuff in the last week. We've thrown more stuff at them by design to try and confuse them, to see how much they can handle, so that way when we go into week one, we can know how big our game plan can be. Sometimes you make it too big and you don't have a chance. Your kids are so confused, they don't know what to do. So we've had a few mistakes because we put some new stuff in. We call something we called the first 3 days we hadn't called for a while. Shoot all 11, we're looking over the sideline like I signaled something they'd never seen before. So we got to keep building on that. I think we make good progress. I think we've got a long way to go if we want to be good.
Very good. All right, thanks, Coach.
You guys welcome.